In this lab, we're going to explore the network map, and we're also going to explore different types of load balancing methods. And this is where the server that I built comes in really handy, because this will allow you to see which load balancing or which servers you're going to each time you refresh the screen, just to make sure the load balancing method is working correctly. And if not, then we could troubleshoot it. So let's get started. I have my Ubuntu server turned on, my XP client, and my big IP. All right, so to get to the network map, we just go to local traffic and then network map. And so here we could actually just click on each item and it'll take us right to that configuration. So virtual servers, it'll take us right there. And then here we could just make changes, update, make changes to our resources really quick. We could go back, and of course we could also see when these are down or up or disabled. In this case, the big IP really doesn't know if these are up or down because we haven't assigned any monitors yet, and that'll come next after this lab. So to get started, we're just going to go to pools and HTTP pool. Okay, we're going to go to members, and we're going to change this to ratio. We'll start with ratio. Okay, and then we're going to click on our members. So I'm going to start with the .1 server. I'm going to scroll down, and right here we're ratio equals 1. So server 1 is going to have a ratio of 1. So that's right. Go back to my members. Server 2 is going to have a ratio of 2, and we'll update. And then back to our members. And then server 3 is going to have a ratio of 3, and update. Okay, we'll go back to members. And then make sure when we change the round robin to ratio, we also update this. Okay, now we can open our browser to our VS HTTP. So HTTPS, actually HTTP :10.10.4.100. All right, and if we refresh this, we could hit the F5 key a few times. And I'm going to hit it about 30 times, or try to. That way when we go to statistics, we'll have a good even distribution. Okay, I think that's good now. All right, now I'm just going to go to statistics and pools. And so over here we could see our divide. And we could actually see that server 3 is at 21 hits, server 2 is at 18 hits, and server 1 with ratio 1 is at 9 hits. And that is, of course, ratio. Okay, so now we're actually going to add some priority group activation. So we're going to go to local traffic, our pools, HTTP pool, our members, and then we're going to click on our pool members, and I'll start with server 1. And so right here is the priority group, what we will be changing. So server 1 is going to be at priority group 0, so that one's good. Go back to members, server 2. We're going to change this to priority group 4 and update. And then back to our members and server 3. We'll do priority group 4 as well. Okay, we'll go back to our members. Okay, and then priority group activation, where it says disabled, we'll click on that, and less than, and we'll set this to 2. So this is going to be if less than 2 members are available. And then, of course, update. Okay, from here, we'll go to statistics, and we want to make sure we clear out the statistics for the next one. So we're just going to select all of these, or we could just click here and select them all, and then reset. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our tab that connects to our virtual server, and we're just going to refresh this a few times. And I'll probably refresh it about 20 times, just so that the statistics are well visualized. Okay, and notice we're not going to server 1. We're just jumping from server 2 to server 3 and back and forth. And the only way server 1 will become active is if both of these servers go down. Okay, so that's enough. Now we can refresh our statistics. All right, and then we'll just scroll over. And then now you can see server 1 has 0 hits, server 2, 33 hits, and server 3, 50 hits. And that's how you set priority group activation on your pool members. Okay, and while we're in statistics, I'm just going to go ahead and reset this for our next set. And we'll reset. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back to the pool members and my HTTP pool, and then members. Okay, now we're going to change the ratio from members to nodes. So let's see, there it is. And we'll update. Okay, and then we are going to change server 3. Okay, and then we're going to change the ratio from 3 to 5, and we'll update. Okay, and now we'll just go back to our virtual server tab, and we're just going to refresh this about 10-15 times. And of course, we're still on less than as far as the priority group, so it's not going to hit server 1. It'll just hit server 2 and 3. Okay, so let's check our statistics. We'll click statistics, our pools. Okay, and we'll see the distribution. And it's distributed evenly between server 2 and server 3, and server 1 has 0 hits. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and clear our statistics. Okay, and let's go back to our pool members. HTTP pool, and then members. And then we're going to go to, okay, and then we're going to go to our node, or our server 3. And then down here at the bottom, where it says connection limit, we're going to change this to 1 and update. Okay, we'll go to our statistics page and just make sure you clear out this field, or you could click reset. All right, we're all zeros. Let's go to our tab, to our virtual server, and then we're going to refresh about 15-20 times. and then see what this function does. Okay, let's go back to statistics. Let's refresh. Okay, and then over here you can see that on these statistics, our totals. Okay, from here we're going to refresh our statistics. And then we see I have 5 total hits on each server for server 2 and server 3. So our threshold that we just sent says that server 3 can have a maximum of 1 connection at a time, and all the rest would be sent to server 2. So if I actually had more than just me here, or more than one computer connected, you wouldn't be able to have both computers trying to hit server 3 at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to clear these statistics, and we'll try one more. Okay, we'll go back to our pool members, our HTTP pool, and our members. All right, we're going to change our load balancing method back to round robin. We're going to disable our priority activation group and click update. Okay, now on server 3, our node, we're going to come down here and we will change our connection limits back to 0 and click update. Now let's go back to our tab, to our server, and let's refresh this about another 10-15 times and see what happens. Okay, let's go back to our statistics. Make sure you clear this search field. Okay, and now we see 9 total connections, and it's distributed evenly between each server. And you see our maximum connections, current connections. Okay, let's go ahead and clear our statistics. And then we'll go back to our pools. And our members. Okay, and then we are going to change these back. We're going to get rid of priority group. We'll change that back to 0 and update. And while we're here, we should actually change our ratio back to 1 and update. Okay, and then server 3, we'll change it to 0 and then 1 for the ratio, update. Okay, let's make sure server 1 is set the same way. Okay. Now let's go back to members. Okay, and if you would like to at this point, you can explore the different methods here. And with the server I built, you should be able to see the statistics and also what server you're going to. And that'll just help reinforce the lecture or the previous lecture as far as what method types do and how to configure them. Okay, and so at this point, we're ready for the next lab. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you're participating and reinforcing your knowledge. See you in the next lab.